Hello friends, welcome to Insight Learners. So in this video we shall discuss the Capgemini pseudocode based questions. So the first part, that is the first section, will be the pseudocode based question, in which you can expect the questions to find the output for the pseudocode, or there will be code snippet in which you need to find the correct output for that code, and you can expect the questions from OOPS, that is like OOPS concept as well as data structures. So in this video we shall discuss the pseudocode based questions as well as the C snippets or the code snippets. So in the next video or in further videos we shall discuss the MCQ questions on the data structures as well as the OOPS concepts. So we shall quickly begin with the first question. So these are the previously asked Capgemini pseudocode based questions, and these are repeated questions. So we shall quickly see the first question. What is the output for the following code? So this is the C code snippet, and we shall quickly see how to solve this. So there is a main function, and then after that we have long double A, long double B, and then there is an array which is of integer, and you need to find the size of not A plus B. Then you need to print the size of array, and these are the output: runtime error 32, 64, and no output. The first thing is you need to, so here there is no value, here they have told us to find the size of. So first thing is you need to see what is the size of long double. So the long double, the size, so the first thing is the size of long double is 16. Then after that, what is the size of an integer? So size of an integer is 4. So the size of an integer is 4, and the size of a long double, that is with respect to compilers it is 16, and with respect to that is size of integer is 4. And here you need to find an array size with not A plus B. So it should be not A plus B, and you need to find that is the size of A plus B, that is the entire size of AB and the integer, and you need to print the size of an array. So array is an integer, and then A and B, these are long double, and you need the entire size. So what you can do is, that is the size is equal to, so entire size, it is equal to 16 into 4. So 16 into 4 is nothing but 64. So you can say size of a array which is in which A and B are long double, which is 16, size is 16, and the size of an integer is 4. So 16 4s are 64. So out of the options, that is option C is the correct answer for this code snippet, that is 64. So then we shall see the second question. So the second question, it is the pseudocode. What is the output for the pseudocode? So here they have given input A is 8 and B is 9, and you need to call a function of A comma B. So then after that, so first thing is you're going to call the function of A comma B. So what is the A is 8 and B is nothing but 9. So function of 8 comma 9. Then after that you need to check whether 8 is so A is less than B. A is nothing but 8. 8 is less than B. Condition is true. So it should return the function of B comma A, that is in reverse order. So this function of 8 comma 9 will return. So what it will return? So it will return the function of, that is B comma A. B comma A is means in reverse, that is 9 comma 8. So 9 comma 8. Then after that, next thing is you are going to again call the function. So call the function input of, here now the function becomes B comma A. So here the A becomes 9 and B becomes 8. So whether 9 is less than 8, the condition is false. So it will go for else if statement. So here now it will call the second function, that is function of 9 comma 8. So function of 9 comma 8, that is A becomes 9, B becomes 8. Whether 9 is less than 8, condition is false. So it will go for else. Else is nothing but B. So B is 8. 8 is not equal to 0. 8 is not equal to 0. Condition is true. So it will return. So will return the function of. So it will return the function. So it will return A plus. So what is the value of A here? So here A is 9. So 9 plus the function of A comma B minus 1. So A is nothing but 9 comma B minus 1 is, B is nothing but 8. 8 minus 1 is nothing but 7. So it will return function of 9 comma 7. So again it will call the function. So again you are going to call the function, that is function of. So we will call this function because it's a recursion function. So we will call this, that is 9 comma 7. So 9 comma 7. So function of 9 comma 7. So again a will be 9, b will be 7. 9 is less than 7, condition is false. Whether 9 is not equal to, so b is not equal to 0, b is nothing but 7. Whether 7 is not equal to 0, condition is true. So what it will do is it will return, so it will return a plus the function. So it will return the a plus function of a comma b minus 1. So it is the a plus. So a plus is nothing but that is 9 plus then 9 plus, so 9 plus, so function of that is 9 comma 7. So what it will return, it will return 9 plus function of 9 comma 7. So here you have 9 already, so you have already 9 plus 7. You will call the 9 plus function of 9 comma 7. So that is 9 plus function of 9 comma 7. What it will return is we will be having 9. Then after that a plus is nothing but 9 plus. Then after that again it will call the, so again it will call the 9 plus function of, so that is a comma b minus 1. B minus 1 is nothing but 7 minus 1, which will be 6. So then again in the next step you will call the function of, so you will call the function of 9 comma 6. So what is the function of 9 comma 6? So 9 comma 6 is nothing but you have 9 plus then function of 9 comma 6. So again will return, so again 9 is not less than 6, condition becomes false. Whether 6 is not equal to 0, condition is true. So it will return a plus function of a comma b minus 1. So function of 9 comma 6, so it already have 9 plus, then it will add a, that is 9 plus, then after that it will call the function of a comma b minus 1, that is 9 comma 6 minus 1 is nothing but 5. Then in the next iteration again it will call the function of 9 comma 5. So function of 9 comma 5, again it will return, so again it will iterate. Similarly again you need to apply the same logic. Again 9 plus it is already there, then again it will be a plus function of a comma b minus 1. So 9, a is nothing but 9 plus it will call the function of a comma a is 9 comma b minus 1 is nothing but 5 minus 1 is nothing but 4. So in the next iteration again you need to keep checking whether 9 is less than 5, 9 is less than 4, condition becomes false. So condition becomes false, then else if statement is that 4 is not equal to 0, condition is true. So again it will return, so earlier what we have 4 9, so 9 plus again a plus function of a comma b minus 1, that is 9 plus function of, it will call the function of a comma b minus 1, that is 9 comma 4 minus 1 is nothing but 3. So then again you need to do the iteration for function of 9 comma 3 now. So again 9 comma 3, whether the b is like a is less than b, 9 is less than b, condition becomes false. So it will go for else if statement, b is not equal to 0, 3 is not equal to 0. So what it will do, it will return again the function of a comma b minus 1. So again here we have 5 9 already, so 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, then plus, that is a plus function of a comma b minus 1. So a is nothing but that is 9 comma b minus 1 is nothing but 3 minus 1 is nothing but 2. So in the next iteration you will call the function of 9 comma 2. So again 9 is not less than equal to 2, condition becomes false. So whether 2 is not equal to 0, condition is true. So again it will return, so 7 9. So here we have 6 9s, it will return 7 9. So 2 3, then 4 5 6 7. So here we had 3 9, here we need to have 1, that is 6 9 plus, that is a comma, so plus function of, so 9 comma, that is 2 minus 1 is nothing but 1. So again you are going to do the function of, that is 9 comma 1. So this will be, so again you are going to return, will return, so that is 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus, so 4 5 9 6 9 7 9 plus a plus function of a comma b minus 1. So 9 plus function of, then 9 comma 1 minus 1 will be 0. So here check. Next will be 9 comma 0. Whether 9 is less than 0 condition is false. Whether 0 is not equal to 0 condition becomes false because 0 is equal to 0. So it will come to the next part, and here it should display. So it will display the function. So it should display the value of this. What it will return? It will return 9 plus 9 plus 9, that is 7. 9 to 18, 27, 36, 54. So then after that 72, it will display the answer as 72. So you can say from the option. So here you can see there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 8s will be 72, and therefore the output will be 72. So from the option you can say that is the option B, the option C, that is the 72 is the correct answer for this pseudocode. Similarly, we shall see the next question. So the next question is what is the output for the code. So then again header file main. So initially integer num is equal to 8. Then after that printf %d, that is num. Here we have the left shift operator, and here we have the right shift operator. So this is the left shift operator, right shift operator. Then it should return 0. So initially the value of num is 8. Then after that what left shift is that, in which it takes two numbers and you're going to shift the bits that is left of the first operand, and similarly in the right shift also you're going to do the same. So here the value is given is only 1, that is num is 8. So num is equal to 8 is the value which is given. So while you are performing the left shift or right shift operator, first you need to convert it to binary. So write 8 in binary form. So then after that you are going to perform. So then it will be correct. So then you are going to write 8 in binary. So it will be 4 zeros followed by 1 3 zeros. So in this way you are going to represent 8 in binary form. So first you are going to perform left shift, then you are going to perform right shift. So left shift operator is that you are going to, so this 0 is gone, then 0 0 0 1, then 0 0 0, then 0 is appended at the end. So first is you are going to perform left shift. So first thing is you are going to perform left shift. So performing left shift, that is the 8 in binary, you are going to perform left shift. So when you perform left shift, so 1 0 is gone, then 0 0 0, then after that you will have 1, then after that remaining is 3 0 is left and 1 0 is added. So that will be 4 zeros. So next thing is you are going to perform the right shift. Similarly you are going to perform right shift, because here we have, you need to do left shift as well as right shift by only 1 bit. So then performing right shift. So performing right shift. So in this case when you perform right shift, so here you need to start, here 0 is gone, then it will be, so you need to perform it by 1 bit. So right shift by 1 bit. So it will be 0. Then after that it will be 0, then after that 1 0 0. So for this you need to perform right shift, not for this. So you're going to perform the right shift for this. Here 0 is gone, so it will be 0 0 1, then after that remaining 4 zeros and 0 is added to the end. So then the binary form of this will be, so the binary form of this is 16, and then the binary form, that is the value, decimal value for this is 4. So what you are going to display is 16,4. So you need to display the number with left shift, which will be 16, and with the right shift it will be 4. So the option C is the correct answer for this, which will be 16,4 is the correct answer, that is option C. So then the fourth question, what is the output of the pseudocode? So again we have a pseudocode and you need to find the output for this. So initially input m is equal to 9 and n is equal to 6. M is equal to m plus 1. So m is equal to m plus 1. What is m? M is 9. 9 plus 1, it will be 10. Then after that n is equal to n minus 1. So what is n? 6 minus 1 will be 5. Then again m is equal to m plus n. So what is m? M is nothing but 10. 10 plus small n. So small n is 6. So it will be 16. Then after that whether m is greater than n, so 16 is greater than 6 condition becomes true. So what it should print is that So it should print the value of m. So m is equal to m plus n. So here n, capital N is equal to n minus 1. So here you have changed the value of n. That will be the n is equal to n minus 1. Here n is initially n was 6. 6 minus 1 will be 5. So m is equal to m plus n. So you need to add this value, that is 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. Because here you have updated the value of n, that is n was 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So we have written the value in the capital N. So 10 plus 5 will be 15, and you're going to write the output as, that is 15 as the correct answer for this question. So that is the option D. So answer is option D, that is 15 is the correct answer. Similarly, we shall see the next question, that is the fifth question. So in the fifth question, initially input f is equal to 6, g is equal to 9, and you're going to set sum equal to 0 and integer n if g is greater than f. If 9 is greater than 6, condition becomes true. For n is equal to f, so it is n equal to f. So f is assigned to n, so n becomes 6. N becomes 6, and whether n is less than g, so it is the value of g. If 6 is less than n, condition is true. N is equal to n plus 1. So initially sum will be sum plus n. So initially sum is 0, 0 plus n. So it is 0 plus 6. 0 plus 6 is nothing but it will be 6. So initially 0 plus 6, which will be equal to 6. Then after that, in the next iteration, so again n is incremented, so now n becomes 7. So here in the next iteration n becomes 7. So n is equal to 7. So n is equal to 7. Again what you will do, sum is equal to sum plus n. Sum is 6, so 6 plus, initially sum is 6. So sum is equal to sum plus n, that is sum is equal to, sum is nothing but it is 6. 6 plus n, what is 6 plus n? 6 plus 7. 6 plus 7 is 13. So again you are going to check for the condition whether, so n equal to f. So what is the value of f? So f is 6 itself, so n is 6. So here we have n is equal to 7 and sum equal to 6 plus 7, that will be 13. So again n is incremented because n is less than g. So whether 13 is less than, so sum, okay, so n is 7. So whether 7 is less than g, 7 is less than 9, condition is true. So again you are going to perform the next iteration. So again you are going to perform the next iteration, which is nothing but, that is n is equal to n plus 1. N is equal to n plus 1. Now n will be 8. So what will be sum? So sum is equal to sum, that is 13 plus 8. You are going to perform 13 plus 8, which will be equal to 21. So 13 plus 8 equal to 21. Now check. So n is equal to 8. Again n is incremented. So n equal to 8. Sum is equal to, that will be 13 plus 8 is 21. So in the next step, again n is incremented. Now n becomes 9. So but 9 is not less than g. So it becomes false. So in the next iteration, you will loop with n less than false, but it becomes, so condition becomes false. So condition becomes false. So you're going to end the for loop and you're going to, if, so here you're going to display the result. So what is the result is 21. So from the option you can see the correct answer is 21, that is answer is A. That is 21 is the correct answer for this question. So we shall see the next question, that is sixth question. So in the sixth question, again this is the code, C code snippet. So what is the output for the given code? So input is 1.45. So then we have a ch, then after that, so print enter the value between 1 and 2 scanf. So it is reading ch and then switch ch comma ch plus 1. So initially ch is 1.45 because they have given the input as 1.45. So ch is equal to 1.45. It's an input given. So after that what it will be? So switch off ch comma ch plus 1. So switch off will be executed for ch. So here it is 1.45. We have case 1, then case 2 as well as case 3. So it will be executed for ch comma ch plus 1. So it will be executed for ch is equal to 2. So nearer value, that is 1.45. So nearer it will be, so it will execute for, switch off will be executed for ch is equal to 2, hence 2 will be printed as output. So here ch, it is reading only ch, so ch is 1.4, so 1.45. So here in case of case 2, so 1.45, it is nearer to, so you are going to add 1 for that. So here there are only, which takes only 2, one is 1, 2 as well as 3. So 1, 2 as well as 3. Here you can see ch comma ch plus 1, but here it is a floating point integer. So but in the cases you can observe it is 1, 2 as well as default. It will not execute default, it will not execute 1, 2, because here the case, the number is itself different. Here it is, we are passing the floating point integer, and here it gives an error. So it gives an error because the switch off, which takes 2 parameters, and that it's a floating point integer. Here we do not have any floating point in the case, so it will not, it gives an error in the code. So therefore you can say the answer is B, which gives an error in the code. So next one is the 7th question. What is the output of the given pseudocode for the input 7? So input 7, what will be the pseudocode? So initially m is 1 and t is 0. So whether you are going to check m is greater than equal to n, that is whether 1 is greater than equal to 7. So here you are checking 1 is greater than equal to 7. So it is false, so it will, else is executed, so it will go for else statement. So else statement, that is t is equal to t plus m. So what is the value of t? T is 0, so 0 plus m is nothing but 1, so it will be 1, so t will be 1, and similarly m is equal to m plus 1, so m plus equal to 1 is nothing but m is equal to m plus 1, so m is 1, so 1 plus 1 is nothing but it will be 2, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So again you are going to check for the condition. So here it will go to line 3. So if m is less than equal to n, so what is the value of m? So here m is 2. So whether 2 is greater than equal to 7. So 2 greater than equal to 7, condition is false. So condition becomes false. So again it goes. So again t is equal to t plus m. Else is executed. So condition becomes false. Else is executed. So t is equal to t plus m. So t is nothing but 1 plus m is nothing but 2. So it will be 3. So again m is equal to m plus 1. That is 2 plus 1 is nothing but it will be 3. So again here you can say whether 3 is less than equal to 7. So 3 is greater than equal to 7. Condition becomes false. So again else part is executed. Again t is equal to t plus, so what is the value of t is 3. 3 plus m is nothing but 6. So 3 plus 3 will be 6. Then again m is equal to m plus 1, that is 3 plus 1, which will be equal to 4. So again you are going to check whether 4 is greater than equal to 7. Condition becomes false. Again t is equal to 6 plus, so t is equal to t plus m. So it will be 6 plus m is nothing but 4. So again it will be 10. So value of t is 10. Then m is equal to m plus 1, which will be 4 plus 1. So 4 plus 1 is nothing but it will be 5. So again you are going to check whether 5 is greater than equal to 7. Condition becomes false. So it is false. Again you can say else part is executed. Again t is equal to t plus m. So 10 plus, what is m value is 5. So it will be equal to 15. So t becomes 15. And m is equal to m plus, that is what is value of m? M is 5 plus 1, which will be 6. So again you are going to check whether 6 is greater than equal to 7. So condition becomes false. So condition becomes false. So again in the next step you are going to do t is equal to t plus m, that is 15 plus 6. T is equal to 15 plus 6, which will be equal to 21, and m is equal to m plus 1. What is m is 6 plus 1, which will be equal to 7. So here in this step you are going to check whether 7 is greater than equal to 7. So here you can say 7 is equal to 7. So condition becomes true. So when condition becomes true, what it will do is that, so here we have t is equal to 21 and m is equal to 7. It will check whether 7 is greater than equal to 7. Condition becomes true. So what it will, if condition is true, it will go to line So go to line 9 in which it should display t. So the value of that is display t is nothing but that is capital. So t value is nothing but it's a 21. So it will display the output as 21. So answer is D. So option D, that is 21, is the correct answer for this pseudocode. So next one is we shall see the eighth question, eighth pseudocode based question. So int j is equal to 41 and k is equal to 37. Then after that k is equal to k minus 1, j is equal to j by k, k is equal to k by j. Print of j comma k. So initially j is 41, k is 37. So j is equal to j plus 1. So 41 plus 1, it will be 42. So the value of j is 42. Next thing is k is equal to k minus 1. So 37 minus 1, it will be 36. So it will be 36. And next thing is j is equal to j by k. So j is equal to, what is j? J is nothing but 42 by 36. So 42 divided by 36. So 42 divided by 36. So you are going to print the nearest value. So you can print the 42 divided by 36, 1. Next thing is the k is equal to, next thing is k by j. What is k by j? K is nothing but 36 divided by 1. So 36 divided by 1, which will print you. So 36 by 1 is 36 itself. So what it will do is it will print 1 comma. So print of j comma k. So j is 1 comma k is 36. So the output for this is 136. So that is the option D. So option D, that is 136, is the correct answer. So next thing is, so here in this you will get the decimal, that is 1 point somewhat. So you are going to consider the 1 itself. So then we shall see the ninth question. So the ninth question, it is a C++ snippet. So it's a C++ snippet code. We shall see how to find this. So hash include std.h using namespace std int main. So initially a is 0, b is 1, c is 2. So then first thing is that here star means it is a pointer. So pointer, first thing is a plus 1. So it is a is 0. So 0 plus 1. So whether it is equal to 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 is equal to 1. So you can say the condition is true. Because 1 is equal to 1, the condition is true. So if condition is true, then what it should print? So at the LHS we have ampersand of b. So star points to the address of b. So that is value at the address of b. So since the condition becomes true, if condition is true, address of b is printed, else the address of a is printed. So here you can see, that is, since 1 is equal to 1, so address of b, then now the star, that is the pointer. So at the LHS what happens is that, because we have LHS as well as RHS, so at the LHS what happens is that, so LHS becomes, so in which there is a star which is pointing to the address of, so which is pointing to the address of b. So address of b, so what is the address of b? So initially b is equal to, so address of b, which will, here we shall consider it as the value at address b. It will point to the address b because we have address b. See here you can see we have star and we have a ampersand. So star, that is the pointer to the address. So pointer which is pointing to the address of that. Now you can say the pointer now points to the value. Because we have star, if you say only star b, then it will print to the address of b. But we have star ampersand b, so which will point to the value of b. So it points to the value at address b. And next thing is at the RHS. So we have done with the LHS. Next one is the RHS. So what will be the RHS? So RHS becomes, so a question mark. So a question mark b colon c. So what is a question mark b colon c? So the first thing is that, what is the value of a? A is 0. So whether 0 question mark, then b. So b is nothing but 1 colon 2. So 1 colon 2. So here 0 question mark 1 colon 2. Again we don't have one more value. So we have left with only 2. So you can say RHS leaves 2. So at the RHS it leaves 2. And next thing is what happens is that here you are going to compare now. So you are going to compare the LHS equal to, whether you need to check whether LHS becomes equal to RHS. So here star, that is star followed by the address of B, ampersand of B. So ampersand of B, that is the address of B. Here you can see that is 0 question mark 1, which will leave the RHS. So here it leaves the RHS to be 2. So next thing is A is 0, B is, so here now what happens at the RHS, it leaves B to be 2. And next thing is C is also 2. So here you can say ampersand B, so it is equal to 2, or you can say B is equal to 2 because RHS leaves the 2 as the result. So what you can say is that the value of A becomes 0, comma B becomes 2, comma C becomes also 2. Next thing is what you need to consider is that, so printf %d slash n a comma b comma c, so it will print 0 2 2 as the correct answer for this question, that is the option C. So answer for this question is option C. Option C is the correct answer for this question. So then we shall see the last question. So the last question is that what is the output for the following code? So int array of 5. So it's a two-dimensional array 5 5 k comma j. For k is 0, k less than 5 plus plus k. For j 0, j less than 5 j plus plus. And here you can say a of k of j equal to a j of k. So from the output, that is from the option, you need to choose what type of code is this, whether it transposes the given matrix A, or it does not alter the given matrix, or it gives a given matrix A symmetric, or none of the above. So here you can say there is an array 5:5 size. Here A of k is to j, it has become jk. So which means you can clearly observe that it has been transposed. So you can say it transposes the given matrix. So with the option you can say that is the answer A, that is the option A is the correct answer for this code in which it transposes the given matrix. So in this video we have discussed around 10 pseudocode based question as well as the code snippets. So in the next video we shall discuss the some data structures questions that are important for the Capgemini. Thank you friends for watching, and do subscribe our channel for more updates.